Well, good morning everyone. Today is canter day, I think. Yeah, we're going to work on Lucy's canter. So I will see you when we get there. Bye for now. Well, unfortunately, I had a bit of a rookie error. I recorded everything, set up my Pivo, it was going well, but forgot to hook the little receivery thing into the camera for my microphone, and so we have no sound. So what I'm actually going to try and do is talk you through this as much as I possibly can. So we decided that we're going to work on Lucy's canter. She's a really sweet pony. She's really settling down and going nicely now. The only thing is that, well, basically, last time I went to teach, I sat on Lucy for about 10 minutes. First time I've ridden in a couple of years. My legs were like jelly, but it was really good fun. The only thing is, when I cantered Lucy, I discovered immediately that when you put your leg on, she wants to shoot forward. When you half halt, she wants to come back to trot, and she finds it very difficult to kind of be balanced between the leg and the hand. It's kind of one or the other. So she's sort of long and flat and fast, or head in the air and really fast, or she goes, okay, half halt, you want to trot? Okay, let's trot. So to keep her in this balanced self-carriage kind of canter is actually really hard work. And Chloe does a great job of holding her together in a way that it doesn't really look like she's doing very much. But in actual fact, Lucy requires an awful lot of work just to keep in canter. And we want to get her to the point where she is in self-carriage. So we kind of want to be like, okay, let's canter, and you keep cantering until I tell you to stop. And that's kind of what we want. We don't want Lucy just stopping every time you try and bring her back to you, or hurtling off every time you ask for a little more impulsion. And so this was the idea of this lesson, to do lots of direct transitions. We were going to start with walk to canter and canter to walk, and then halt to canter and canter to halt, just to get her balanced enough that she can stop like that. Anyway, at the moment we're just having a bit of a warm-up, doing some serpentines, and Lucy was starting out not really tracking up, so we thought, well, if we go onto some smaller loops and then just push her out in a kind of a sort of a leg yield to try and engage her inside hind a little bit, that then we would get a better trot when we're just sort of going large or doing 20-meter circles. Okay, so we'll just see what we're doing here. Still warming up. Oh, we're trying to lengthen the stride a little bit as well to see. Oh, off we go. She's a real sweet pony. Let's see what we got this time. There you go, I'm saying, Chloe, really lean back. Swing your hips up and forward. And we've got a little bit of length. They're very nice, actually. So you're like, all right, you've got lengthened strides. That's fine. When you go up a level in the dressage, you've maybe not quite a medium trot yet, but you've got a real good lengthened stride. Okay, that's fine. It was fun. See, the thing is, I mean, Chloe's doing a great job here. She's sort of, but we want to get Lucy's hind legs further under her. can get her so that she's adjustable. I mean, the thing is, she's only a pony. She's like 14 hands, 14-1, something like that. And she's competing. Well, she did a BE 80 recently, and they've entered for BE 90 as a counter canter. That was really nicely done, actually. Quite rhythmical. Kept some decent. Kept the same bend and everything. It was quite good. But what we want is for Lucy to be adjustable, because she's only a pony and she has to make the horse distances in between doubles and related distances and things like that. And we want her to be adjustable. We need her to be able to put in an extra stride if necessary. Maybe not on a 1-stride double, but certainly on a 2-stride double we could get her to pop in 3 if necessary. And this is really what we're working on. We need her to come back instantly when Chloe asks her to come back, and we just sort of contain herself and just really be sort of more on the spot, because at the moment when you ask her to come back, she either breaks into a trot or she sticks her head up and dashes off. So what we really want to work on is that adjustability, so that her jumping will be better. I mean, Chloe doesn't love dressage. Oh, it looks like it was a bit windy there. It came all over the place. Chloe doesn't love dressage, but I think, very good. But Chloe also sees the need of suppling and balancing and building up muscle so that she can really carry herself, and so that she is more adjustable when it comes to jumping. So we all know flat work improves the jumping. Jumping's really just flat work with fences in the way, so. Oops. Okay, so then I said to go, all right, do not lean back, do not tip over. You need to turn your body around the turn and sit back into the transition so that her front end can lift up. When you sit back, you're going to push the back end underneath you a little bit more, and then that gives the front end the opportunity to lift and then go into those direct transitions. So let's see what we've got. But, that's good. This is their first sort of attempt at precise walk to canter. Like before, Chloe asked for walk to canter, and she might get a stride or two of a bit of a trot, a bit of a jog into it or whatever. So we're going to ask for really sharp, like direct, decent, proper walk to canter. And I said, Chloe, lean back. She's like, I did it again. Sit back. Well done. And the great thing is that Lucy has chilled so much recently that this didn't even blow her mind like we thought it might. We were like, oh, we'll try it a few times and maybe we'll have to just give it a break and not really do it. But actually she was excellent. Back, Chloe. Good girl. Not meaning to be patronising, she's a fully grown woman, but anybody younger than me is a girl. And most people are younger than me these days. Whoops, I just bumped my camera. Most people are younger than me these days. That was good. I know a little bit above the bit, but the first time they're doing this, so they will get the hang of it, or Lucy will get the hang of it. Chloe seems pretty good with it. Ooh. I love teaching and I love riding. Just makes me smile. We're trying, Lucy goes into a round sort of outline really, really easily. What we actually need her to do is kind of lengthen on her top line a little bit more. And Chloe's getting a lot better at doing that, and Lucy's a lot more chilled out, so she's more willing to actually give it a go now, which is great as well. She was quite difficult when we first started doing this. really, really changed. It's brilliant. It's really good. I think here we were just like, you know what, let's just canter a bit without any transitions. Let's just make sure she's chilled. Just keep her relaxed. She did tense up a little bit on that long side. Sort of tilted her head a bit and sort of clenched her jaw a little, but she came back quite nicely. That was good. So what we did? What we did? Oh yeah, we did. At one point, I said, make sure you do a proper transition to trot, because the thing is, after you cantered for a while, is to just be like, okay, I stop now, just blur. Quite what I'm saying. Yes, I do. I'm just saying, when you go upwards in your transitions, obviously you push your bum underneath you, and that kind of pushes the horse forward. And if you want a horse to stop like that, but you drop the weight down through your diaphragm, down through your stomach and downwards, and so that you end up with a slight curve in the small of your back. And then when you do that and you just lean back slightly, keeping your contact, you don't actually have to pull, you just sit back with that slight curve in your back, and it actually is almost like riding into a brick wall. It's just like horse stops, boom. So I was just trying to say to Chloe, you know, about using your body really to stop and get those really instant transitions rather than having to pull into them. I mean, so that's the idea, isn't it? The ideal thing is to make it look like you're not doing anything. So, and obviously it's nicer for the horse. You can use your body weight rather than hauling the teeth out. So it's a bit nicer. Okay, so we're trying the left rein. Now the left rein is Lucy's more difficult rein. She does bend in the neck but fall out through the outside shoulder quite a lot, and she's, as you can see, she's quite tense. She's more like with her mouth, and her hind legs don't quite come through so much. Now she does, and I don't know what this is from, but we are working on it, and they're doing lots of hill work, lots of hacking, lots of straight lines, which will really help. But Lucy's way of carrying Chloe is to try and sit her to the left, sit Chloe to the left a little bit, which is then going to stop that hind leg, the inside hind coming through, and it's possibly going to cause a stiffness. So horses often are stronger one side than the other. Humans are stronger one side than the other. And so often the best thing you can do for that is just lots of straight lines, lots of hacking, lots of hills, and try and get them even and building up muscle equally on both sides. And at the moment, anyway, we really just only schooling Lucy once or twice a week, and the rest of the time she's hacking, because if you do too much in the arena with her, it does really stress her, actually. She's much better when she's only in there a couple of times a week. So. Okay. Head and neck, etc., but the transition was direct and it was good. Head and neck will come. And the hind legs, ooh. When the hind legs come through properly and she's carrying herself, then everything else will just follow. So here Lucy's just anticipating a little, and Chloe hasn't quite got that light moment. You know, sometimes it's about picking a moment for walk to canter. So, you know, really well schooled horses are really balanced and they can just do it. When you're teaching a horse to do it, you've kind of got like a reflex. You kind of got to act instinctively, because you get a moment when it's like, this is right, let's do it now. So again, there, not quite, but I know Chloe gets her moment and off they go. There, good. And it was kind of like half halt, turn, and go. And because she was turning as they were going into it, she was off on the right lead, and that was good. So, you know, when the horse is not experienced, it really is about picking the moment to ask, so that you can encourage the horse to be like, yeah, you did it, well done. Yeah. Little break there. What are we doing? Oh, we're about to start halt canter. Chloe's great because she just gives everything a go. She doesn't go, how do I do that? Or, oh, I haven't done that before. She's just like, yep, I can do that. And I'm sure she has done it all before anyway. She has evented before she met me. She just took a break from it for a couple of years. Oh, that was not bad for the first go. Sit back. She was lucky she got the transition, though it was quite on the forehand, but that was because she was leaning forward that time. The thing is, when you're doing it from hold, you've really got to prepare before you go. Like, you've got to be a little slight tip forward, but better than last time. You kind of got to be sort of turning your body so the horse is going to get the right lead, because you're not moving to give them a clue which lead to go off on, you know, so you have to be ready. You have to be turning, you have to be, you know, your weight in the right place. Yeah. Are they going to do it? So yeah, like I was saying, you have to, the horse has to know what your plan is. Whoop, but they're off before you ask, because they're stood still, they've got to have some idea which direction they're going in. That's good. And Chloe did actually ask for counter canter that time, she told me. It was a little more tense than the early ones, but she said she did actually ask for that, so that's cool. That one was just a little on the sudden side for Lucy. She's like, oh, cross country, yay. Lucy's such a great little pony, she just gives everything a go as well. Okay, left rein, I think. Again, that was down to lack of preparation. So, you know, Chloe's body was still pointing off the other way a little bit. Sort of again there, she's sort of a little bit tipped rather than turning. So you actually need to, you know, point your body in the direction you want to go, not tip over, but turn at the waist. That's better. That was good. And actually, I don't know if you saw Chloe's outside leg there, really sort of, her knee opened up away from the saddle a little bit, which gave Lucy the ability to bend into that leg, away from the inside leg, and sort of bend without the outside leg clamping. And so that gave her the ability to soften and bend and come around and then strike off on the right lead. I think I'm sort of talking about that very thing of sorry, my battery was just going flat there. I think I was just talking about that thing there with Chloe about turning your body, giving the pony upfront warning of, whoa, what you're going to do. Lucy's actually quite responsive. Then we decided we're going to let Lucy motor on a little bit and then see if we can bring her back you know, is she balanced enough now that when Chloe, they're good, brilliant. When Chloe actually asks her to come back, will she do it easily and without sort of flattening and breaking into trot or anything like that? So that was the task after the direct transitions, was to see if the canter then actually had become adjustable. Allow her to go on, and then at E, I think it is, I think it's B, I think it was E, bring her back. And I don't think there was an awful lot of difference between the forward and the back. So we were like, okay, let's try again. And then Lucy did tense a bit. So I think we just settled her down again and then tried again on the next side. Oh, not yet. We did circle first. Chloe does a brilliant job of not looking like she's doing an awful lot. She does a really good job. Lucy's not being the easiest, but oops, yeah. So then that was what we normally get with Lucy. It's like, oh, I just can't come back. I just can't sit on my hocks quite that much. Like, no, that's okay. You know, we'll do it again. So let her go on a little bit. And then can she sit back a bit there? Good, good, brilliant. And then I think we stopped after that. That's enough. You know, because with a horse that's learning well, with all of them, it's like you don't need to get upset with them. You should try the best, and you just go, actually, no, that's not quite right. Let's try it again. And she'll get the idea, but you kind of got to do it so that the pony's still keen, still wants to do it, still wants to try, and isn't too exhausted. Anyway, that's all Chloe did because she wasn't feeling 100% that day. So after that, I hopped on for my second ride in nearly 2 years. Yeah, so if you want to see that, that will be the next video. Last time I went on for the first ride in almost 2 years, my legs were like jelly, and literally, and that video is also on YouTube. That was, yeah, interesting. It was, I didn't have the leg really to do very much at all. However, for the last few weeks, I've been going to the gym a little bit, and so my fitness, you know, cardio-wise, is a lot better. So I wasn't huffing and puffing and mouth breathing and all of that stuff. And I actually had leg to use. So yeah, if you want to see that video, that will be the next one.